What is up, crew? I believe we are live. People in the chat, can you let me know if we've got clear-ish audio and hopefully clear-ish video? I know our video has been a little bit choppy for some reason. And also, I forgot to turn off my background music. So please let me know if you can hear background music, because that is a big no-no if YouTube catches that. So aside from that, welcome in. It's been a full week since we've been live. If you are new to the channel, welcome. We actually go live every single week here on YouTube, live Q&A style. Usually I bring a topic to the table and we kind of just go over it and discuss it. So I am here for you guys for the next probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes, because we have to cut tonight short. I'm working on a secret project, which I will announce at the end of this. I want to give a shout out to my admin Gretchen. I was just catching up on a text I had to send her. She's not feeling well, so I told her don't worry about tonight, and I believe she's in here right now. So Gretchen, thank you for showing up. And bow out if you do not feel good and you need to rest up, my friend. But aside from that, how are you guys doing? I have had another really effing productive week, and it feels so good to be on track. If you guys are following me on Instagram over at Side Hustle Pros, you will see that I have been on a kick the last 2 days, really just yesterday and today. I'm actually posting my daily to-do list. My get shit done list is what I'm calling it. And I've been so much more productive really over the last, I'd say 6 weeks. And I know I've brought it up every time I come on live, and I just say I've had really good weeks lately because I'm showing up and I'm being as productive as possible and I'm not wasting any time. So that's been great. Shout out to my man Ryan, because I know he's now watching our YouTube videos. My guy Ryan is our new hire for our eBay account specifically right now. And I wanted him just to focus on that till that eBay account, our electronics account, the 10K challenge account you guys are probably familiar with. And it took him, I think, a total of, we logged 20 to 24 hours, somewhere in there. He got every single item cleaned, tested, photoed, and cataloged and put away. I don't even know the process that's over there right now, but he's got it down so great. So I've been so fortunate to be able to find this guy and just finally hire on some help, man. I can't do it all myself as much as I want to, and I try to, and I'm OCD with how I like things done. I just gave over basically everything over there because he has eBay experience. He knows what he's doing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let you take over from here. So, man, I've just been on fire. So it's felt really good to have productive hours put in lately. And I'll share with you guys tonight what I'm going to be providing. Another thing I've been working on for 2 days straight. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But aside from that, let's dive into tonight's topic. Black Friday is coming up, and that's going to be starting technically tomorrow night, Wednesday at, when was it that I saw? I forgot what store it was, but Wednesday evening, there's a lot of stores starting to do some like pre-Black Friday sales, some doorbuster stuff going on. It's just going to be a crazy year as far as being able to go in there and snipe some deals. Some stores are not doing great. I've done a dissection on all the Black Friday ads over the last 2 days, and some stores are not going to be that great. There are still tons of deals to be had, but for example, Target last year, I felt like was awesome. Lots and lots of stuff was found in Target last year. We made a good chunk of change out of Target. But for some reason, this year, I could not snipe as good of deals. There's still some stuff to be flipped, but definitely not what it was last year. So let me dive in a couple of tips, strategies, tricks that I'm going to be using. This is my 4th year. We just passed. I haven't been live on YouTube since this, but over this last week, since I last saw you guys here, we hit our 3-year anniversary since I first sent in my Amazon FBA shipment. And then you guys all know where the videos came from after that. So I made my first YouTube video here on this channel 3 weeks after I sent in my first Amazon FBA shipment. It's really crazy how fast it goes by. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to even be able to sell on platforms like eBay and Amazon. I'm so grateful, even more than selling the products. I'm so grateful for a platform like YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, where we've built communities, because anyone who's a reseller specifically, it's a very lonely road. And we talked about this last week. It's a very lonely road, a lonely ball game, because we no longer have coworkers. Like when I had my full-time job and Trista had her full-time job, even though you don't love your job sometimes, you had coworkers to mingle with every day. And when you become a reseller, especially when you go full time, all of a sudden you feel like you're just in your own little dungeon and you don't see human beings ever. So that's why communities like YouTube and Facebook groups and all this kind of stuff are so great, because we can come in here and share ideas, bounce flips off of each other. Really just to have somebody where you can text, or a group where you can post, say, hey guys, I just found this item, or I just flipped this item. And you have a group of people that get it. I can't call up my mom and dad, for example, like, hey, you won't believe this. Hold on. Maybe you can see it back here. That, I'm going to do a YouTube video on this. That right there is at least a $400 1950s lunchbox. I can't just call up my parents or friends or family members and be like, oh my gosh, check out this find I just did. They're like, oh, cool. Good job for you. They don't get it, right? But people who are other resellers, you guys would fully understand. You want to know what the comps are, how much I paid. Like, you want to know all the details. So it's a lot of fun to be able to be in the community with each other is definitely the best part. So let me just dive in chat real quick. All right, video is good, audio is good. We're going to keep going then. So let's dive in. Let's just, I don't have any bullet points, nothing written down. I'm just going to chat with you guys, and we're here to, I know it's me doing all the talking on these live shows, but I really like it to be an engaging thing. So it's like a conversation going on, because I'm only 3 years into this. Well, technically it's my fourth Q4 going into this, but it's not just me that has any type of experience. I've got such a little experience compared to some of these veterans, some of the big guys, right? So we got tons of them in the chat here. We've got tons of people that do way bigger business than what I do and have been doing it a lot longer. So we've got a lot of knowledge to be shared here. So it's just me sharing my 2 cents. And then if you guys want to drop yours in the chat too, feel free. So let's talk about Black Friday. Do you guys have any specific questions about Black Friday? Because I know we have a lot of new flippers on here. Maybe you've been in this for less than a year. Maybe you just started. You're looking at Black Friday and you have no freaking idea what to do. You walk into Target, stop, and go, okay, where do I go? There's lots of people. What do I do? Do I just go up and down and start scanning stuff as usual? So I know a lot of people are in that no freaking idea phase, because that's where I was at the first Black Friday I hit as a reseller. I remember I was so pumped because I knew there was good deals, but I walked in blind and I just see floods of people running everywhere. And I didn't know what the heck I was looking for, because I went in blind. I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anything. So let's talk about that. Without toys, that's a really good topic to bring up too, Wendy. Without Toys R Us, Wendy feels lost. And that's definitely, it's a good thing that I've seen so far, based on a lot of in-store routes that I've been doing over the last 2 months, prepping for the next 2 months. Right now, we're in such I've been so on fire lately because it feels so good to be in prime buying season. There's so many products right now you can go out and buy so that you can sell them over the next 8 weeks. And it's just right now is the best time of year, guys. I friggin' love it. Love it, love it, love it. So let's talk about that. With Toys R Us no longer being in the picture, at least for now, they're coming back as Jeffrey's Toy Box, which would be pretty cool to see. But without Toys R Us, a lot of these department stores have picked up their toy game. Like JCPenney's, for example, is now putting toys out. They've done a few toy items here and there, but they're shoving their stores full of toys right now. Kohl's has always had really good toys, but I feel like they definitely picked up their game. There's just so many stores that are picking up the toy game because they know that Toys R Us is not going to be in the picture. So customers who go for toys, not as resellers, just regular customers, people who go for toys on Black Friday, or even just throughout the Christmas season, these stores know that they don't have Toys R Us anymore. So they're just meeting a demand. There's a demand for toys since that supply is now gone, right? It's also basic supply and demand. This whole ball game is supply and demand. So the supply is gone out of that chain. So it means that the demand is going up for toys. And so you've got to understand that's why these stores are going to be coming out with a lot more toy items. So if you're in an area where you have department style stores that you may think are just clothing or just shoes or just this or just that, just go in. I challenge you guys to go and source at new stores, because I was shocked when I walked into JCPenney's, for example, and I saw a whole section just for toys, and I was like, wow, okay, cool. They're picking up their game. So definitely want to check out some new stores is a big thing with Toys R Us being out of the picture. And let's dive into some Black Friday stuff. And I'm just going to kind of blurt off some tips for you guys. Again, I don't have a list or like bullet points or anything I'm working off of. So if you guys have any specific questions, just drop those in the chat. We'll come through and do a little Q&A in the chat for you guys. So let's just start with the basics. Black Friday. There's a couple ways you can do this. Number one, you can go in blind, and that's what I did my first year. And I went in, I had cash ready. I'll just put out numbers because I'm as transparent as I can be with you guys. I had four grand is what I had to play with on Black Friday, and this was last year. And I walked in, and I kind of just looked around like, all right, I know toys are hot. I know video games can be good. I know electronics are good. Home and kitchenware could be good, but I didn't know what to do. So I just started going up and down the aisles and scanning. And I was out all night because I didn't have a specific method. I didn't have a strategy per se. And it was my first time going in as a reseller. Now I've been Black Friday shopping as a consumer, completely different experience when you go with the reseller's mindset. So I really was stuck with where do I go? What types of stuff should I buy? Price tanking becomes an issue. I didn't really understand the price tanking thing that happened after Black Friday. So we're going to talk about that here and give you guys some tips. So number one, try to go in with some type of strategy. So whether that is taking the Black Friday ads the night before, and which, I mean, technically would be tonight and tomorrow night, you could take the Black Friday ads and you can go in there and dissect them and try to find potential deals. You can just go online and start running online arbitrage, whether you're doing manual searching on online arbitrage or you're running tactical arbitrage scans. If you know that certain stores ahead of time, they're pushing out these percentages. So for example, if a store is saying, hey, Black Friday sale, we're going to run 15% off this category, let's say home and kitchen, then you can, in tactical arbitrage, if you have it, you can go into tactical arbitrage and run a scan on that category and tell TA, which is what it's called, TA. You can tell TA to deduct an extra 15% off, and it will come back with your profitable leads. And so that's another method you could do. So there's all kinds of different strategies you can go. You can also go the night before, and I do this a lot with big sales I know are coming up, like Nike Friends and Family sales, for example, where you get 30% off your purchase. I'll go in the day before and I'll just scout. Okay. I'm looking at inventory that's currently on the shelves. I'm scanning, for example, in that case, Nike Friends and Family, I would scan the shelves and act like I was getting the 30% off. Obviously, I'm not making any purchases that day, but the day before I go in and I have that mentality of 30% off. And I'm kind of making a little list for myself, my own Bolo list. So I'm making and Bolo, if you don't know, is be on the lookout. So I'm making my own little Bolo list for those Nikes. So when I go in the next day, I'm not going to waste hours blindly scanning. I already have my list of pre-sourced items that I can go and double check. So I go in, got my list, get my pairs, and then I'm out, right? You can be in and out in an hour on Nike Friends and Family, for example. Black Friday, you might not be able to get in and out in an hour depending on where you're going. But that's one of my tips that you can do is go in the day before and just scout. You're looking at all the Black Friday. You're going to see like Walmart, for example, always brings all the big pallets of toys. They've got massive amounts of toys in Walmart. So you'll see all these giant pallets and stacks of toys that are going to be throughout the whole store, really. And you can go in there the day before, kind of, they'll put a lot of that stuff out the day before or even the night before. And you can start scouting. You can start seeing different products that are going to be hot. There's a couple Walmart ones I've really got my eye on, which I'm excited about. And if you go in there, you see that they've got 50 units. Then you kind of know, okay, I got my eye on this store, but if the next store has 20 units, you probably don't want to waste so much time going into the 20 unit store first. You still want to go in there eventually, but you want to go to the one that has the most supply. Grab as many of those as you can. Of course, within your parameters, each business is different here. And then go to the lower stock stores because the lower stocks are going to run out real quick versus the ones that have more inventory. So my second tip is price tanking will happen. So you need to flip your stuff quick, or you have to be ready and willing to hold out. It might take 2 weeks. It might take 2 months. Some prices never recover. Okay. Video games, for example, extremely popular category in Black Friday. If you go in and you buy up a bunch of video games, video games are amazing. I love video game flipping on Black Friday. You can go in and buy games for $29 that sell for 50 or 60. And then if you buy them, this was my mistake last year. I didn't know how quickly prices go whoop on Black Friday. Not on Black Friday, but within the weeks to come, you're going to see price tanks because you've got hundreds, if not thousands, of resellers sniping the same deals you are across the US. So if you've got popular video games and you've got thousands of people in there grabbing their copies, throwing them up on eBay or sending them into Amazon for FBA, then you're going to have saturation and competition. And what happens when there's a lot of supply is people freak out because they're not selling their stuff and they think they're going to lose money. So then they price drop each other left and right. And that's when we call race to the bottom happens, right? So with video games, if you're going to, eBay's a different story. I love eBay because you can literally buy it, take a photo of it right there, and then list it, and you can sell it within minutes. Okay, I'm not saying your stuff will sell in minutes. I always get one of those questions, not questions, but comments like, well, Chaz said my stuff would sell in minutes if I listed it. It's been listed for 5 minutes, not selling. You've got to play the smart, guys, okay? So you need to be in the quick flip game, and that might mean taking a lower ROI. So instead of buying something, and at the time when you scan a game in store, right, you might pick up a video game, it's $29, you scan it, it's selling for $59 on Amazon, and you might make like a $20 profit on that. And you're thinking, wow, this is a great buy. But by the time that you package it, you ship it into Amazon, and all of a sudden it might take, again, we're going into Q4 here. We're in Q4, but it's going into deep Q4 soon. That means the Amazon shipping times and check-in times are going to be a lot longer. So your stuff might take I've had stuff last year, it took 3 weeks to check in because they sent my box from here in Oregon all the way down to Florida, and the Florida location was backed up. So my stuff got delivered within a week, but then it took a week and a half for them to actually pick it out of the truck or however that process looks to actually make it live for sale on Amazon. So I had 2.5 week delay. And part of that was going to be video games. So I had a box of video games that went down there and they had 2.5 week check-in. So my now $20 profit because of price tanking turned into like 10. And because I was stubborn, now if I'm buying something for 29, which is basically $30, and I'm making a $10 net profit, that's a 30% ROI, which I am totally happy with now. But a year ago, I was so stuck in double my money, that when I saw I was only going to make a $10 profit when it checked in, I was stubborn and I thought, no, I'm going to keep my price where it's at. I want my $20 profit. And what happened was it took months for the price for all the lowballers to sell out, because you can look at Keepa charts, right? That's going to be tip number 3 is Keepa. But what happens is you have all these people that come in and tank the price, so it comes down. Mostly it will come down to near a break even or even losing a few dollars. Price is what happens. After all those lowballers and the ones freaking out, after all those guys sell out, what happens is this price now starts to recover back to where it should be, what the normal market price should be for that game. That is when I cashed out and got my $20, but it took like 3 months. That is not the business I want to be running. I would have made a lot more money by quick flipping and making my $10 profits on all my games and then reinvesting that. And within that 3 months, I could have easily tripled my money versus holding out and making those $20 profits. So I have become very, very hardcore into like just the volume game. That's why you guys on Instagram, you see me, I'm shipping stuff almost on a daily basis right now because I've learned to lower my margins, my ROI. I'm comfortable with that now. And I'm just going for turn and burn. I'm going for quick flips. I'm going for higher volume. And that's been a ball game that I loved. I mean, we've had the best sales consistently over the last 10 days than I think we probably ever have on our account. It's been amazing, but it's because I've just been really consistent with shipping stuff into Amazon. And I've been really consistent with just focusing on that 20 to 30% ROI. And I'm making more now than I was last year, even though I technically had more sales, higher dollar sales last year. I think my average sell price is probably cut in half this year versus last year, but I'm making more because I'm turning my money over a lot quicker than I was back then. So I'm in a really happy spot with where we're at doing that stuff. Tip number 3, you've got to learn to read Keepa, because one major issue that you see is you might scan that video game at $29 and it sells for $60. But if you see that the only reason it's selling for $60 is because Amazon is out of stock, that's a great place to flip. You need to, if you're on a product that Amazon is in stock at a low price and they go out of stock and you have that product, cash out. Make your dollar, cash out, guys. Because if Amazon comes back in stock, which they can at any time, at any price they desire, and chances are, because it's Amazon, they're going to come in at a low price, right? They never come in at a nice high price. They come in at a very affordable price for the customer. But if you have that happen, then you're not going to be making much money. So what happens is Amazon's in stock and the normal selling price might be $35, but then they go out of stock and all of a sudden all the FBA offers shoot their price up because it's supply and demand. Amazon's out of supply, demand goes up, boom, let's cash out on our price. So that's where that $60 price point came from. So anytime that you scan a product in store, keep this in mind for Black Friday. Anytime that you scan a product in store or online arbitrage, whatever, when you scan a product on Amazon, you are only looking at the current hour timestamp for that rank. What I mean by that is if you have a toy that you scan, and in toys, a general, I know it's a completely broad number, but in general, if you source a toy under 100,000, that's a good rank. If you source a toy that's under 50,000, that's great. If you source a toy under 20,000, that's excellent. Okay, it's kind of the ratio within toys category. But if you scan a toy and it's ranked 50,000, you might say, and there's profit there, you might say, wow, this is a great buy. It's ranked 50,000, which means they're selling fast. And then you send it in and you sit back and go, well, it's been a month and I'm still sitting on that toy. It hasn't sold. What's going on? And you look at Keepa and you might say, or you might see it was only ranked 50,000 because it sold that day. Now, Amazon and ranking changes every single hour. So you can have a toy, for example, and they have a big drop, guys. I hope you understand this. That toy could have been ranked at 400,000, and that one sale would cause that rank to drop down below 100,000. Especially when you're dealing with books too. The same thing happens in books. You can have a book ranked 1 million and it will drop to 150K on one sale. That's how big the drops are. So you need to learn to look at Keepa.com, and it's a free tool to use. Okay, completely free. It's the number one tool you should be using in your Amazon FBA business. With Keepa, it's Keepa.com. Go on there, plug in a product. You can copy and paste the ASIN into Keepa.com if you're using your phone. Because people always ask, well, I'm not at my computer at a store. Use your phone. That's what I use. So in the ASIN, copy and paste it. And it's under, if you scan a product and you scroll down a little bit, it's under that features and details. Tap that and you'll see the ASIN. Copy that, paste it into Keepa. Keepa has a little search bar and paste it into Keepa. You'll see the chart pop up in the green line. And there's tons of videos on YouTube, guys. I haven't done one myself yet, but look at YouTube. You'll see tons of videos to talk about this stuff. And they teach you how to read Keepa and the basics and the graph and all the colors and the dots and all that fun stuff. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It's just overwhelming when you first look at a Keepa chart with all the filters turned on. You're just like, well, there's a pink dot and there's orange, and I don't know what the squiggly line means. Just go learn the basics on how to do it. Okay. And if you're in our VIP group, because I see several of you here, in our group files, I have a full 1-hour tutorial already recorded in there. So go to the group file recordings and you'll see my tutorial in there if you're inside of our VIP group there. So with that all being said, learn to read Keepa, because when you're looking at the green graph, that's what I'm talking about, is just the green line. I'm not talking about all the pricing features, just the green line. If you see a green line that's going up and up and up and up, and then it just goes really high, that means it's not selling. So you need to start looking, okay, well, why is this not selling? Was the previous price is the current person that is selling it, or maybe multiple people, are they priced too high? Because there's a reason it's not selling. Does it have a crappy listing? And what I mean by that on Amazon terms is, how is the photo? Is it a crappy photo somebody took with a blurry something in the background, or it just is a dark photo? It's not bright white background like Amazon wants it. Is the listing itself crap? Is the title clear? Is the description bullet pointed? There's all these little tweaks you can do on a listing to do that. Now, you need to look at even more so, are there FBA sellers on it? I'm becoming a huge fan of doing the sourcing method. I just posted this in our VIP group today. I'm purposefully buying products that have a bad rank because I want to prove that you can go in there and fix them per se. So, for example, a grocery item I sold two of, one today, one was yesterday. I think I may have sold a third. I need to double check. So I sold a grocery item for $16. Okay, comes in a jar, $16, and it cost me $2.79 to source it. Now, when I scanned it, it was ranked well over 200,000, which in grocery, it's not horrible. It's not a horrible rank, but it's not a great rank. And the reason it wasn't selling was because there was only one person that was merchant filling it at a really high price, which means customers, one, there was no prime offerings. If you don't know, when you send in your Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, when you send in your FBA inventory to Amazon, all your products are prime eligible. So they got the little prime badge, and Amazon will ship them 2-day prime to those customers. So if you have a listing that you scan a product on, listing pops up and you see that there's no FBA sellers, that means no prime customers can use their 2-day shipping. So I came in and I priced it a little bit lower than what the other guy was. I think he was at $19.95. I came in at 16. My repricer kicked in. It was like $16.12 or something off like that. Anyways, I came in a few dollars cheaper, what I thought would be a good price for that product as a customer, because you have to look at what price our customers actually going to pay for stuff. So I thought, okay, somebody would pay $16 for this product because it was a 24 ounce. It's going to last them a while. They'll pay $16 for it once a month. And I sent my product in. The listing was fine. There wasn't anything really bad with the listing. It can use some improvement, but it wasn't horrible. Solid picture. It had a description. Title was good. And so I sent in my FBA, and all I did was I ran a little bit of PPC on it. I think I paid like $5 for some pay-per-click is what that stands for. It's a basic campaign. I'll do a whole video on this kind of stuff later. But I ran a basic campaign. I spent like $5, and it wasn't just for that listing. Cause I know some people are like, well, if you sold it for 16, you spent $5 for a campaign. I didn't spend $5 just on that one product. I spent $5 on a whole bunch of products. So I probably spent maybe 50 cents for that product to pop up as a sponsored product and for it to sell. So $2.79 buy cost, sold for $16. I paid probably 50 cents, maybe upwards of $1 for PPC, and it sold within, those have been checked in less than 2 weeks. And that rank, when I scanned it, should not, if I made my buying decision based on that rank, it should not have sold because it was a slow selling product. But you have to ask yourself why. So I want you to really look at, as you're going into Black Friday specifically, when you're scanning stuff, if it has a bad rank, I want you to look at Keepa and start to look at why. Oftentimes, if you scan a product and it's got a bad rank or no rank at all, one of the most common reasons why it has a bad rank and it's not selling is because it's out of stock or there's no FBA sellers. That's probably the top two most common reasons something has a poor rank. There's a lot of products out there right now that don't have anyone selling them. That's why the rank, every hour that goes by and a product doesn't sell, the rank climbs up. Anytime that a product sells, the rank will drop down. So that's why when you look at a fast selling product, it goes up and down like this. The faster the squiggly lines, the better. Oftentimes, man, you can snipe so many deals on stuff that does not have FBA sellers. So I'm telling you, use that method this weekend when you go out. Any other Black Friday tips, tricks, strategies, anything you guys want to know? It's open Q&A. I'm just kind of brain dumping my methodology with it. And again, this is just my method, my opinion. You can like it or you can hate it. Doesn't affect me either way. I'm still going to go out and do my thing. I figure I just hop up here and help you guys out before we actually get out there and do it. So if you have any questions around Black Friday, Amazon, eBay, etc., feel free to drop it in the chat. Catherine asked, other than toys, what should we be looking out for? You got to look at what season we're in. So I'm becoming a big fan of looking at seasons, and especially right now, everyone's going to be trying to flip the hot toys, right? Well, that's a different conversation. I don't think there is the hot toy this year. I just think we have a wide variety of semi-decent flips so far. There might be the hot toy that pops up after Black Friday. We don't know yet. So as of now, everyone's chasing down all these different toys, which there's a big list of them. We've got our full list in the VIP group if you're in there. So right now there's tons of toys that people are chasing, but think of the season we're in. We're also in holiday season. Okay. That means a couple different things. One, grocery items. There's people making bank right now, flipping everything under the sun that has to do with Thanksgiving. Okay. And really, I mean, now is kind of like the cutoff. I don't think Prime customers can get their stuff ordered right now unless they live in a big city and they have like 1 hour delivery and stuff like that. But here in small town, we don't even have 1 hour delivery or 1 day delivery unless we have to pay way more than we need to extra for it. But we have 2 day delivery. So right now, people are no longer selling stuffing, and pumpkin pie stuff is going to start fading out a little bit as we get into Christmas. So you got to think of the seasons that we're in. So grocery products, when it comes to seasons, are a great thing to go and snipe. Believe it or not, this may blow some minds because it did mine last year when I figured this out. Grocery items sell on eBay too. And that tip right there, for maybe the one person that takes it and does it, can literally change your business. So don't be afraid just because you scan a product on Amazon. This isn't just grocery, by the way. If you scan a product on Amazon, it's restricted. Don't be afraid to look it up on eBay, because chances are it might be selling for the same price. May not be as high of a price, or it may not be as fast, but if the price is there, I mean, you can flip grocery items, especially on eBay as well, especially when you're getting into limited edition stuff. Man, look at all the candy cane stuff coming out, limited edition. People that are ahead of the curve or ahead of the trend are going to do the best. So people that were sourcing Christmas stuff a month ago are already cashing in on their products and moving on to the next thing. By the time most people think about Christmas, which is December, after Black Friday, people start to get in this Christmas mindset. And if you're flipping, if you're a reseller, you can't wait until December 2nd to be like, oh, I'm going to start reselling some Christmas items. Like you're a little bit late to that wave. You've got to be ahead of the trends if you're going to do seasonal stuff. Now, other category to think about too is home and kitchen, because not so much, I mean, home, yes, but more so kitchen accessories, cookware kind of goes hand in hand with the grocery items. Because we're in holiday season, people are baking. Think about baking pans, utensils, all that kind of weird stuff. Not really weird. It's just boring, right? No one loves flipping cake pans, but people make $1 million a year flipping cake pans. So you got to think about what time of year that we're in, not just about what the hot toys are, but you got to think about, especially with Amazon specifically, not eBay, but with Amazon specifically, they're getting so much more strict on their policies, and they're allowing brands to control more of the market on Amazon, which means IP claims, right? So you're looking at IP claims, inauthentic claims, all these different claims can be thrown at you by a brand at any time. So I really urge you guys, don't go all in with the hot toy thing. Just really kind of diversify your business, because if your account was hammered with IP claims on a bunch of toys, I mean, you're kind of screwed. You can fight them, right? If you've got invoices and receipts, you can fight that stuff, but it's a pain in the butt. So really kind of diversify yourself is another big tip that I can give for you. All right. So let me take a few minutes to hammer. I do have something for you guys leading into the end of this call. So let me hit some questions real quick. I love it. I bought some pumpkin spice Jello and flipped it. That's what I'm talking about, man. Especially if you're early on the trends, you can flip pumpkin spice stuff early on. I mean, pumpkin spice stuff starts selling in summer. If you know where to get it and you're early on that trend, people start thinking about pumpkin spice stuff early. You can sell candy canes in July, like just weird stuff like that. And it's all just experience. You don't know any of this until you just get out and start doing it. Is it really worth buying Black Friday? This is a really good one. Is it really worth buying Black Friday deals if everyone can get the same stuff? I believe it is because I have data to prove it now. Last year we spent $4,000. I spent more than $4,000. I'm just referring to video games alone. So that's not including the toys or home and kitchen, different categories, but just on video games last year, I spent $4,000. And out of that $4,000, I'll have to do an inventory lab screenshot and share it on Instagram or something like that. Out of the $4,000, I'm actually going to pull up my exact. I hate throwing out numbers, like general numbers, because I don't want to be completely off. And then at the end of the day, well, Chaz said it. Let me just pull up this is a cool part about inventory lab, by the way, quick plug. You can create custom suppliers. So for example, I'll do this again this year, but last year I created anything I sourced for Black Friday. I didn't use my supplier as Target or Walmart. I put Black Friday, Target, Black Friday, Walmart. So when I go into inventory lab, when I type in the word Black Friday, which I'm doing now, I could type in the word Black Friday and it will pop up and show me exactly what we were able to do. So out of, where are we at? Okay, so it doesn't show my total buy cost. All right, roughly, I think it was like 3,700 or something like that. I'll have to deep dive in inventory lab, find the exact number. So don't quote me, but we spent about 3,700, 3,800 on video games, and we made a net profit after fees and shipping and all that kind of stuff. And I'm still sitting on a few of them because the price never recovered and I went too deep on them. So don't make that mistake. Go wide. Don't go super deep on any one type of item. So we did, and this is also including, I like to show you guys the actual numbers. This is also including 23 refunds. So after my refunds, after everything is said and done, out of the 3,700 spent, we made a net profit in our pocket at the end of the day of $2,400. So that just kind of gives you a ballpark. I was going for about 50% ROI, which this was right on track. It was 53.34% ROI. And that's after my refunds too. So if I didn't have those refunds, I would have had probably closer to like a 60 to 65% ROI. So for me, I was happy. That was a good day for me. And the ones that I did flip were quick, which also brings me to my next tip that I did forget about till just now. If you play around with merchant filling, that's where you can make a very, very good ball game. Because if you buy a bunch of video games, for example, now it depends on your business model. Some people don't like merchant filling. Some people ship big items. For video games specifically, what I'm doing this year is instead of shipping everything in FBA, which might take a week, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I'm going to merchant fill all my stuff because I can try to sell them at a competitive price at a lower ROI that weekend. So by Monday and Tuesday next week, I should have a whole laundry list of video games ready to be shipped out. And then I get a cash in, make my ROI, and I'm done. I don't have to sit on my video games. I don't have to play the battling game for the next 3 months like I did last year. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to test out. So let me get back to the original question. Is it really worth buying Black Friday deals if everyone can get the same item? Yes, because even though everyone has access to the same items, some people don't have the capital to go very deep on anything. Some people will buy a bunch of stuff and then they'll do what I did, which is price it a little bit too high and sit on it for a long time. Or I really think it's all a game of speed, guys. If you want to make Black Friday worth it, get your stuff, get it flipped as quick as you can, make your 20, 30%, and then get out. Because think about it, especially those of you who have some capital to play with. If you go out and you spend 10 grand at a 20% ROI, you're going to make $2,000. And if you do that on video games specifically, and you merchant fill those all by Monday or Tuesday, you just made 2 grand by going out for a couple hours and maybe a couple hours in shipping, right? You can't really do that at a regular job. So that's the beautiful part of it. And that's a low ROI. You can probably go for, you saw mine was 53%. So if I went out and I spent 10 grand, I would have made $5,000 in my pocket after everything was said and done. So for me personally, and again, it's just my opinion, I really do think it's worth it. All right. Any last minute questions before we jump off of here? And I will tell you why I have been busting my butt yesterday and all day today. And I've got to put in probably another 2 hours tonight. Let me double check questions. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Mac and cheese candy canes? That's disgusting, but I would probably try one. Oh, man. Oh, I love this. Troy said, don't be afraid to merchant fill. I ordered an OA product, which is online arbitrage, and didn't realize it was hazmat. And if you're not familiar with Amazon, if something is hazmat, it's considered hazardous material. So you cannot FBA hazmat items, but you can merchant fill them, which is what Troy did. He said it was hazmat. I threw them up, merchant filled, and have been selling 7 to 10 units a week. First class is $2.66 for shipping and selling for $55, which is a 100% ROI. So he's doubling his money 7 to 10 times a week on that OA product. And it's probably going to be a replan too. It's something you can go buy again and again. And if it's not something you can buy again and again right now, just throughout the whole year, when those sales happen, you kind of have your own little Bolo list in your head for it. Oh, you guys with your friggin' ollies. You all know how much I wish I had an ollies around here. Yeah, there you go. You can send in his FBA, keep some back to merchant fill till the FBA items go live. You could definitely split them up like that too, especially if you're doing larger purchases. I mean, those of you who are going to go out and spend 5, 10, 20 grand and you have a lot of them, yeah, you can totally keep half your stock and just merchant fill those. That's actually not a bad idea. I might play around with that because it's a weird ball game to play because when you do FBA, it's going to be a lot longer shipping time and you're going to battle more saturation and price tanking when it gets there. But prime customers usually will pay more versus a merchant filled. So it's you can play it either way. I know plenty of people that make a killing doing only merchant filled and people that make a killing doing FBA. So there's no wrong way to do it. It's just whatever your personal preference is. Yes, Tony, another tip. Thank you for asking that. Do you do your Black Friday buys in store or online? That's a great thing to bring up. Here's my best tip for that. If you can, before you even leave your house, go through the thing I'm going to announce in a minute. This is my number one tip I can give for this thing I'm going to do. Before you leave your house, and some of them are going to be live the night before. So tonight there's some stuff dropping too. So I already know of some sites and which products I can go buy right now and have those ready to be picked up. So what I'm referring to is when you go online, let's say Target and Walmart. Target is awesome with it. I haven't done a whole lot of Walmart. I will this year for Black Friday. Try to do in-store pickup online because it's going to save you a massive headache of having to run into the store, dart back to whichever section you're going to, fight a bunch of people, get your units, and then go check out. If you can buy them online ahead of time and do the in-store pickup option, if they have it, it's not going to be on every item, but there's a lot of items that do offer it. If you can do the in-store pickup, I remember last year I did this with Target and I would order all these video games. And sometimes they'll have, a 2 limit or a 3 limit. So you got to respect those limits. But I would order these on target.com and I would have in-store pickup. And I was in a town where we had 3 Targets. So I would go through and do that with all 3 of them. Here we go. We gotta hide some users in here. All right, there we go. All right, we're good. Gotta love people. So I would order these online. We had 3 different Targets. So I would order 3 units from all 3 Targets, so 9 total units. And then when I went to that store, which I already had my in-store buy list ready, so I already knew what I was getting. But I went to the front counter first. I was able to pick up my video games. They were paid for, and I was ready to go. It was a super easy process. And then I went in store to get the rest of it. So that for me was a huge thing. Man, we got some. I thought we already had the hide user on this one. You gotta love people that have multiple accounts. All right, hold on. We gotta fix this. All right, we'll see if that works. We'll see. So let me see if we got any last minute questions. Then I do have a little live announcement for you guys. What would I sell if I were hazmat approved? I don't know. I haven't looked into it. All the hazmat stuff I've ran into is super random. Like I've seen friggin' Amazon put hazmat on like plush toys and just random stuff that should not be under hazmat. True hazmat is for like condensed aerosol cans, just random stuff like that. So I have no idea what I would flip because I've never looked into it. Post pictures of my Thanksgiving cooking. You know what cracks me up about that? If you don't know, if you're on our Instagram, every now and then I'm actually a decent cook, believe it or not. So when I go in these cooking phases, I'll make these just amazing looking meals. And most of the time they're low carb because that's kind of my nutrition style I like to do because I just feel my best when I follow a keto or low carb style lifestyle. Yeah, we'll roll with it. So when I post these pictures, it amazes me. This is a reselling community. And there were so many people that were asking me to do YouTube videos on recipes. So I'll ask the YouTubes, since you guys are here, would anyone even be interested if I did little recipe videos? I'm thinking about I already created a second channel, but I think I might actually start uploading content to it. But it's going to be a fitness, lifestyle, and nutrition channel specifically. So recipe videos, workouts, all that kind of stuff is going to be posted over there. I just thought that was really funny because I would not expect like the eBay and Amazon community to want recipe content. I just thought it was funny. All right, you guys, I have to meet where the demand is, right? So if you guys want recipe videos, I have the channel made. I'm not going to plug it or anything right now because I'm not making content for it right this second. I've got to stay focused on Amazon. But once I start making content on that channel, I mean, January is a great time of year, right? Everyone's got like fresh goals and stuff. So I'll make some content and I'll let you guys know when the channel is live and all that fun stuff. All right, so here we go. I have gone through most. Thank you, Gretchen. I removed a few too. I think there was multiple accounts hitting that. Man, you gotta love YouTube comments sometimes. All right, so let's do this. With all the Black Friday talk, I have met a demand, which I didn't realize how big of a demand it was. I have created, here's what happened. I did a deep dissection on all of really the top 4 so far: Target, Walmart, Kohl's, and GameStop. I think those have some of the best opportunity. I'm going to see if I have time to squeeze Best Buy in there. I will do my best to get that done for you. But what I did was I just gave out one of the tips, which was do a dissection on the Black Friday ads. And you have to manually cross-check whether it's your seller's app or on Amazon.com on your computer. You have to cross-check every single item in the Black Friday ads. And you can find what is going to be currently profitable if you quick flip it. I have spent probably about, I'm going to say close to 7 hours so far doing that. And I have compiled a detailed breakdown of a Black Friday Bolo list. This is not online arbitrage based, but with that being said, there are many of the deals you can purchase OA style. So what I did was Target, Walmart, Kohl's, GameStop are my top 4 that I've already done. I need to finish up GameStop and a little bit of Kohl's after I'm done with this call. So what I did was I compiled, here's what I wish, I can't screen share, can I? I don't know why this doesn't let me screen share on this side. All right, so let me show, well, I can't show you, but I'm going to pull up on my end my list. So I'll show you, I'll tell you the columns. I have the title, and there's a good chunk of video games. I talked a lot about video games, so I did a good chunk of video games. There's some toys and electronics mixed in there. So I kind of shows you the mix that they're dealing with. So I put the title. So let's say video games title. I put what the Black Friday price will be. I gave you a direct product link to like the target.com page or the walmart.com page, Kohl's.com, etc. So you can see what the product is. Number one, so when you go into a store, you recognize it. Or number two, you can order it online to be picked up in store. Or if it doesn't offer that, like GameStop, I don't believe offers that. So you can go onto GameStop.com and probably snipe that OA deal and have it delivered to you so you don't have to go out and do retail. I provided the direct Amazon link. So there's no searching on Amazon. It's literally just click the product link, click the Amazon link. You can look at your stuff there. Quick tip, if you do this list and you get on board with it, I will ask that you download, because it's going to save you a ton of time. Download and install the Chrome extension Keepa. If you don't know this, when you open up Amazon.com on your computer, you know how you have your buy box page, your product, like the whole buy box page. Keepa will show up on the page automatically. You don't have to open Keepa.com up on a separate tab. So it's on the page. So download that, because when you click on the Amazon link, Keepa will be right there for you. So I put, literally, as of today, I put what the current buy box price is. I put what the current profit is if you flipped it at the current buy box price, which again, if you're merchant filling stuff or sending in your FBA shipments really, really quick, you're going to be able to still stay within that range. I put what the current ROI is, and I went one step further so you can know how many are in stock, or even if the store has stock. I don't want you driving out to a store, because here's the problem with a lot of retail arbitrage lists. They'll say, hey, Walmart has this item, go find it. And then you're like, well, shit, how do I know which stores have it? So I have provided you with a link to a software that I use. I use this every day. It will show you which stores have stock. So it will say yes or no for stock. And it will, on some stores, it will show you the exact quantities of stock as well. I have given you the direct link, so there is no second guessing. There's no searching. You just click on the link, put in your zip code, hit search, and it will show you, okay, this Walmart has 10 units. This one has 2 units. Okay, I'm not going to waste time on the 2-unit store. I'm going to the 10-unit store. So I'm trying to get this to be as simplified as possible. So that's what the whole spreadsheet looks like. I will tell you that I did not put rank on the spreadsheet because 99.9% of the finds that I went through, I did not recruit one virtual assistant to do this. I have my own team of VAs, and I did not have any of them help on this because I personally did the digging on all the Black Friday ads. I personally cross-checked every Keepa chart. That's why you see the bags under my eyes. I've been doing a lot of Keepa chart reading in the last 24 hours. And I made sure that the ranks are solid. Most of the video game ones were under 5,000 in rank. A few of them are higher than that, but they have a higher dollar amount for profit, so it's worth it. Same thing with the toys. I made sure the toys check out. What else I put on here? Electronics section. I made sure all the ranks check out for you guys. But I don't want you just to rely on my opinion of something's good. I want you to look at the Amazon.com page with Keepa on it. And so you can see if it's going to be a good buy for yourself. So with that being said, I didn't realize how high of a demand this was going to be. And I decided, you know what? I've got a little bit of extra time yesterday and today. Well, I don't have the time. I made the time. I don't have the time to do it necessarily, but through yesterday and today and a couple more hours tonight, I'm going to be finishing up this list for you guys. I am going to cap it at 100 people. Even though it's retail arbitrage and there's not a whole lot of price tanking that can happen because I'm putting out this list to 100 people, if I didn't put a limit on it, then I would not want to see 1,000 people, which based on our audience, that might be what would happen. I would not want to see 1,000 people all out getting the same deals, because then there's a much higher risk of that price tanking to happen. So I am going to keep it capped at the 100 people. And let me big sign here. If you are currently in our VIP group, you already have access to this. So do not purchase it. I don't want any of you messaging me like, hey, Chaz, I'm in VIP. I bought the RA list. And then I also saw it's already in the VIP group. I don't want you to purchase anything you don't need to. Okay. So with that being said, if you're in VIP, you've already seen the post and all that kind of stuff. It's in the group already. So everyone's going to be asking the same question. You guys know me. I'm not a fancy salesman. I'm not going to throw you 1,000 different emails and try to upsell you a bunch of stuff. I just lay it out how it is. Do you need my Black Friday RA Bolo list for these stores? No, you do not. You can easily do what I just did. But I'm telling you, I just put in six or 7 hours so far. I got 2 more hours ahead of me. You can go and do the same thing. The deals are not that hard to find. It's just time consuming. Okay. Do you need the list? No, you do not. But if you want the convenience, because that's what people pay for in life, you pay for what's convenient. Okay. If you want the convenience of having all of that already sourced and it was not done by a virtual assistant, it was done by myself. I double checked ranks. I double checked current prices, all of it. So with that being said, how much is it? Blah, blah, blah. Where do I get it? It is not done yet, but it will be dropped tonight. I still have about 2 hours of work to put into it. So I know that for East Coast people, it is going to be super late when I do post it. But with 100 people, with a 100-person cap, I don't think it's going to sell out tonight. So it'll probably be there in the morning. If you're super diligent about getting it, you might just have to set an alarm for like 2 a.m., do your purchase and go back to bed. I don't know. But I just know that I don't want to post it tomorrow because tomorrow's too late. The deals start tomorrow afternoon. So I want to make sure that you guys have access to it. So let me clarify again. Do you need this? Absolutely not. You can go and hunt down the deals yourself, whether you want to dissect the Black Friday ads or you want to go and blindly scan up and down aisles in the store. Totally up to you. There is something to be said about your time. What helps with having access to a list like this is the fact that I'm going to save you time because you have a list of exactly which games to get. You have a list of exactly which toys are good, and you already have access to the current pricing and the ROI. So if you see that there's video games on there that are like a 20% ROI, you don't want to mess with those, you can say, okay, I don't want those on my list. Take my list, dissect it yourself. If you only want to get the 50% and above stuff, and you can copy and paste and make your own little Bolo list. When you walk into that store, you can beeline to the games, look at PS4, look at your PS4 list and be like, okay, I want this one, this one, this one. They have 4 units of this one, 5 units of this one. You snatch those, check out, and you're done. You're in and out in less than 30 minutes. Okay. Or you can go and blindly scan stuff. That's totally up to you. So with that being said, I did a lot of research and effort going into this, and I saw that a lot of other companies that do OA lists and retail arbitrage lists, that kind of stuff, because you guys should know by now, we do run daily OA, which is an online arbitrage list that's provided every single day to our private group. If you want access to that, that's another subscription base you can get plugged into. Email me, chaz@sidehustlepros.com, and ask for that information. I saw a lot of people were charging $250 and beyond for the same style of list being provided for Black Friday. And I just could not, I don't want to charge $250 because I know our audience and I know that a lot of people are not going to be comfortable putting up $250 when you might be short on capital to begin with. So what I am doing is I am dropping the price down to $97. And it is going to be limited to the first 100 people. I cannot save spots for you. I can't do the like, hey, I get paid tomorrow. Can you hold off? Like, I can't do that. It's too many people to juggle. So it's just going to be first come, first serve. I will be emailing the link to sign up. And that will drop, hopefully, give me like 2.5 hours after this call is done. So it will be 8. Let's just say I get home at like 8:45 tonight. So I start working at 9, 10, 11. So it's probably going to be posted by 11 p.m. tonight, Pacific time. Again, I wish I could do it tomorrow. I didn't even think about doing this till this morning. Yesterday I was putting together a Black Friday list for myself. And then I realized I'm not going to be able to buy every single item. So I gave our VIP group a whole bunch of them, and I'm going to give the public the whole bunch too. So with that being said, $97. If you want to sign up for the email list, it is going to be dailyoa.com. I'm going to plug this in the chat here. So go to dailyoa.com. That's going to be linking to a Gumroad site. With that being said, go into Gumroad, and what you want to do is enter your email. I'm not selling you anything on that site. It's just enter your email. And then tonight, I'm going to email through that system. I will say Gumroad, I'm not a big fan of it because it loves spam and junk folders. So your confirmation email that it sends you, you need to give it some time. I did a test on a different account of mine. It took an hour for the confirmation email to go through. So I'd recommend you go there now, enter your email because the confirmation email might take a little bit, and check your junk folder. Okay. Once you have your confirmation email done, then I'm going to be sending out the email tonight. Hopefully about 11:30 p.m. is when I'll be finally done and uploaded for you guys. And once that email is out, it's first come, first serve. Once we hit 100 people, it's cut off. I cannot allow any extensions, no special favors. I'm sorry. It's just going to be what it is. So with that being said, I'm pumped to get out and do some Black Friday sourcing, especially because I did it hard last year for the first time. I learned a lot from doing it last year, and that's why this year I just wanted to be on point with my sourcing. I really cherry picked a bunch of these items. Now, so far, the RA Bolo list, I will say, has 85 leads on it. And after I'm done, I'm probably going to have closer to like 120 to 150, somewhere in that range. And I know that some people are going to say, well, the other guys might be giving you like 200 or 300 or 400 leads, which may be true. And I skipped on a bunch of those because I wanted to cherry pick what I felt would be the best ones. Consider this my own personal list. These are the exact items I made for myself, and I'm going to go out and buy. So you can take that with a grain of salt, whatever works for you. Brickseek.com is what we use for the retail arbitrage stock checking. And we've already provided the direct link to each of those in the Excel sheet for you guys. All right. You guys have any last minute questions before we hop off of here? Because I got some work to do tonight. There you go. Running 50% sale on my entire eBay store to clear out low-end merchandise. Yep. I'm doing the same thing. I'm listing a bunch of stuff that my guy Ryan did, like just old Funko Pops laying around that aren't worth much. Just all my dead stock stuff. I'm selling at break-even prices just to get clean slate again. Jason, my man, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Much appreciated. It says I refuse to go out Friday, but buy a hot chocolate. I will definitely do that. All right, cool. So I'm excited. Stay tuned for tonight if you want to get a hold of that list. Again, it's $97. No upsells afterwards. I am using ClickFunnels as like the purchasing technique, but I'm not going to be like upselling you a bunch of stuff afterwards or anything like that. I'm very cut and dry when it comes to that. So I want you guys to hopefully get the list because there's some really good stuff on there. There's stuff that is $75 right now and it's getting marked down to like $35. Like there's some really good flips on there. I'm just really pumped about. So there's stuff you guys are going to see me buying the same stuff. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys get plugged into that. I've put in a lot of hours, a lot of reading, keep it charts to try to do as much legwork for you guys as I can. So aside from that, Mark said no Lowe's or Home Depot. Unfortunately, not on this one, just because it's going to take a lot more hours to go through a lot more stores. So I'm narrowing down my top 4 stores, which are going to be profitable. Plenty of leads to be found in there. So I should do a tally. If you were to buy 1 unit of every lead on that list, how much you would make? It'd be thousands because there's some really good stuff on there. But again, dailyoa.com is the place to be, where you can input your email. That enters you into our email list. I don't blast out a bunch of emails all the time. That email list, I will say, is for our online arbitrage list that we post every Friday. Those are usually $15 if you want an online arbitrage list. So you will see an email come out every Friday. You can always unsubscribe, totally fine. That's just the easiest way I can figure out how to do a little email list for this RA Bolo thing tonight. Yes, Gretchen said, do not talk to sales associates about BrickSeek. That is the number 1 rule. Absolutely do not talk about that to associates. They do not like it, and they will not honor some deals if you go in there flashing your phone around and say, well, they said I had 5 of them. It's not how it works. All right. You guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in. We had over 200 people tonight tuning in, so thank you. I'm curious. Did you learn something about any of my personal Black Friday tips? Comment below on the video. Or what are one of your Black Friday tips? Also comment below, share the wealth, and let's help each other crush it this weekend. I'm really excited. And aside from that, it's been Chaz. Peace out. Go make some money this weekend. I'll see you guys soon.